Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Rekkles and just give an update about how his season is going, because just like we saw the start of the LEC and the start of the LCS this weekend, this past week before the weekend, the LFL started as well. You know, we've already seen Rekkles play with K-Corp in two of these show matches against Koi, but now the LFL regular season has officially started. And yeah, those games against Koi were really fun to watch, but you know, these are the games that matter. These are the games that count. These are the games that are going to, you know, potentially see if we see Rekkles and K-Corp in like EU Masters or something like that, you know, competing for titles and championships. So this is really cool to see. And obviously Rekkles, super popular, K-Corp, super popular, the LFL, pretty popular, and has a lot of big name players in it this year, actually. And I know a lot of people watch it, but still, you know, maybe not as many people that watch the LEC and the LCS every day are the people that follow my channel. So I kind of still want to give regular updates on Rekkles. I think it'll hopefully make for good videos that we can, you know, have throughout the season as some of our ongoing content. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. And, you know, I'd like to see if you guys want to see more Rekkles and LFL content, you know, just keeping up on him and seeing what's going on, or, you know, maybe not. That's okay too. Subscribe, save today and all my latest content, and consider checking out the merch, first link in the description below and the boxes underneath. With that being said, let's get right into this. My first update is that I pre-ordered one of the Rekkles K-Corp jerseys. This is, you know, the jersey that I have. I think they said it's not going to be coming until March. I know they started selling jerseys, and I think they sold out in like less than 5 minutes. You know, I don't know how many jerseys they put up on the store or whatever. I'm assuming it was a decent amount, but I'm still assuming, you know, the French fans and everyone around the world went pretty crazy, pretty fast. But either way, I think this is going to be such a dope jersey to add to my collection. You know, I am somebody who collects a bunch of esports stuff. You can see I have my 100 Thieves jersey hanging up here. I have a ton of jerseys. I have a ton of stuff. I have my TL Bjergsen jersey on the way right now. K-Corp Rekkles, gonna be super cool. And I'm very excited. Even if it doesn't come till March, I think this was, you know, an easy pickup. But here is how the season started for K-Corp and Rekkles, taking on Misfits Premier. I mean, this is like 2 minutes into the game. Very first game of the season in the LFL. Rekkles and Hantera playing Jinx and Thresh bot lane into Woolite and Vander, who's actually a really solid bot lane. You know, Vander is a guy who we just saw in the LEC not too long ago doing really well, and Woolite is an 80 carry, you know, we all know as well, and he's not bad, especially considering, you know, in the ERLs, in the LFL, this is a very good bot lane they're playing up against. So just because it's LFL, just because it's ERLs, does not mean they're just playing against scrubs. So, you know, don't take this for granted too much. But here's how their season started. You know, right at the beginning of the game, minute 40, and Hantera with the flash flay in. They go right onto the Caitlyn. She flashes out. Rekkles getting aggressive, flashing in. Thresh gets an auto. Jinx gets another auto right on top of that. And Rekkles picks up first blood a minute 50 into the game. First game of the season for K-Corp. Might even have been the very first game of the LFL season. I don't know about that for sure, so don't quote me on that. But it's possible that Rekkles got the very first kill of the 2022 season for the LFL. Very cool to see. And what I'm really excited about this play, and what I think people should be excited about, is seeing an aggressive Rekkles in lane. I know people have been obviously very skeptical about him in the past. You know, Rekkles plays his style. His style, it is what it is. Like Carlos talked about, you know, it's not the style that G2 liked to play or wanted to play, but that doesn't mean Rekkles' style is bad. He's obviously been very successful. He's won titles. He's made it to a world final. You know, he's had all this success, fame, everything. He's done a lot of winning everywhere he's wins. Yes, he's had failures in, you know, elementals and G2 or whatever, but still, he's had a lot of success doing what he's doing. But Rekkles has also talked about going to K-Corp, and other people have talked about this as well, as a chance to maybe reinvent himself, a chance to maybe work on some things, because he's going to be great in the LFL. You know, I've heard some people be like, oh, Rekkles is washed, he's going to suck in the LFL, I can't believe he's taking this risk, you know, yada. Like, no. This is a guy who won an MVP in the LEC in 2021. He's going to go to the LFLs and be great, and he can play, you know, his style and just absolutely dominate and be fine. But he can also take this as an opportunity to maybe work on some things, maybe try to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe try and play a little bit more of a you know, a modern style, or just a new style, or to be more versatile, or work on new champions or whatever. And, you know, him pulling out Jinx in the first game and getting a level 1 kill on Jinx, you know, it's definitely not something you see every day, especially into a Caitlyn. So I thought this was a very good sign. I think it's a sign we might be seeing, you know, a Rekkles who's practicing, working on things, and maybe trying to reinvent himself a little bit. You know, he's always going to have that risk-averse, late-game, hyper carry, win your team the last team fight. You know, he's always going to have that style to fall back on. But Can he work on some things? And I don't know, he might be able to. Now, maybe not. Maybe this was just, hey, they saw an opportunity for the kill. Hunterra made the play. He made the call. I don't know, but that is something to watch out for, and I think something that's going to be very, very exciting. So, K-Corp would go on to win this game against Misfits Premier, Misfits Academy, whatever. And Rekkles went 8-1-12 on the Jinx with 421 CS. He had, 90 more CS than anyone in the game, and he went 8-1-12. He was popping off. Anyone who was worried about Rekkles being washed up or being done or being tilted after the G2 experience or not having the drive or the desire, competitive spirit, whatever, that's just not the case. Like I said, I think he's going to dominate this LFL season. I hope he dominates at EU Masters as well. I hope they win, 2 EU Masters titles. We'll see how it all goes, but so far so good. One game in, they were 1-0, they were rolling, but then they were matched up against Mirage Elandra, who is actually the team of Cody Sun, the former LCS AD carry, most recently with TSM Academy last season. He's on this team, and that's crazy. That's interesting. There's also some other big name AD carries in the LFL as well. I know I saw Crown Shot, I think, is on BDS Academy, which is K-Corp's next game on Wednesday. So again, there's some good support, some good AD carries, some good players overall in the LFL. But in this game, K-Corp would get a little sloppy. This was a really, really bad random loss for them. Rekkles and Hunterra did amazing. Again, Rekkles 10-2-5 on the Lucian. Again, 425 CS, 80 to 90 CS more than anyone else in the game. Cody Sun went 2-3-9. He didn't really do anything. K-Corp actually ended the game up 3,000 gold and still lost. This was absolutely a game they should have won. But these things happen, I don't know. I can't really explain it too much. K-Corp definitely still has some young, inexperienced players, some players who, are not as solid as guys like Rekkles and Cabochard. I know 113 is very, very talented, but still makes some silly mistakes every once in a while. I know Cabochard did not have his best game ever here, going 5-7-9. Seiken seems really, really hit and miss in the mid lane. 2-5-10 on the Twisted Fate, 237 CS. Not really that great. It was just kind of a rough, weird game that I think K-Corp is going to have some of these, especially early on in the season, as they still continue to mesh and gel together, but also still, try to facilitate a lot of these new, younger players together. A lot is on the backs of Cabochard and Rekkles, especially early on in the season. I think K-Corp's going to get this stuff figured out, and I think this is a game they win 90-95% of the time. But yeah, you're going to drop random, weird games every once in a while. And if you do have a game like this, you'd much rather have it be early on in the regular season rather than in the playoffs, rather than at EU Masters, whatever. So another game of Rekkles and Hunterra playing really, really well, but they did actually lose. Their next 2 games are against BDS Academy and Gamers Origin. That's going to be Wednesday and Thursday. LFL plays their games during the week, so we'll see how that goes. As far as the stats for Rekkles so far into the season, KDA, he is 3rd highest. Rekkles is always going to have a high KDA. That's always how he's going to play. He's going to be pretty risk averse, and that's, just his style. There's 2 guys ahead of him, Exakick and Crown Shot is at 17, but that's only from 1 game. Crown Shot had another game where he went 2-2-7. So I believe Rekkles actually should have the 2nd highest KDA in the LFL right now. His laning stats aren't that great. Gold differential at 10, 144, which is 3rd best in the league. Again, don't count Crown Shot there. Jeskla in the LFL too. I didn't notice him. XP differential at 10. Rekkles is kind of middle of the pack, but he is still positive. CSD at 10. Rekkles is 3.0. So, he has some good laning stats. Not amazing, not the best, but again, we're just 2 games in. Very, very small sample size. But what I think is very, very good is obviously his damage per minute. He's at 764 damage per minute. That's great. He has the 2nd highest damage share in the league, only behind Cody Sun. So again, so far so good. Things are going great for Rekkles if you're worried about him. So far, there's been no signs or reasons or anything to be worried about. Just 2 games in the season. We'll see how it goes. K-Corp expected to be the best team in the LFL, if not the best team in all of EU Masters. Rekkles expected to be one of the best players in the league and all of EU Masters. And again, it's just going to be really, really fun and exciting to watch throughout the whole year. I know K-Corp's 2 games so far have had 180,000 viewers and then 200,000 viewers. So, these games are rivaling LCS lock-in viewership, which is pretty crazy, but people are hyped up. People are excited to see this stuff, and I think it's fun. I think it's great. And again, Rekkles is getting a bag. He's making a ton of money to smurf in the ERLs and live like a rock star. So, so far, so good for Rekkles over there. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so, so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about K-Corp and Rekkles so far? Are you excited, hyped up? You think they're overrated? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.